Hi class, in this video I would like to walk you through an complete example of going from pseudocode to Java. So here is a problem that we did in class. The problem to input the minimum and maximum temperatures, calculate and display the average temperature. We determined the inputs. There were two inputs, max temp and min temp. There's one output, average temperature. We came up with a series of steps. We're going to read the values. We're going to do the average in 2 steps, calculate the total, and then calculate the average, and then display the output. We've done a desk check so that we feel confident that this algorithm is going to work. So let's go over to Java and get started. I have Eclipse running already. I'm going to make a new Java project. You need to make a new Java project every single time. I'll call it average temp. The only thing I need to put here is just a name for the project. Make sure you give it a name that you can find it again. I will then go here. Here's my project, average temp. If I right click on it, then it gives me options. I must create a new class. All Java code goes into a class. You can name this the same name if you want to. Because the first one is a folder and this one is a file. Remember to click the checkbox here so that Eclipse will set up the main method for you, and then you don't have to type this whole thing in. Start with your name at the top. Start with a statement that says what this program will do. This program will calculate average temperature. Right? Also, I would like you to change the style of the curly brackets and make sure that they open and close, that they line up. And it's a good idea to put some comments here so we can remember that that is the end of main and this is the end of my class. Right? Now we can get rid of this line. We can start off with declare variables, because that's the first thing that we're going to do. So let's look at our pseudocode over here. If we look at our desk check, we know the variables that we need. We need 4 variables declared. What data type should we use? It looks like they're all going to be decimal numbers, and so let's use double. So double, we have max temp, min temp, total, and average temp, right? We need to create a scanner for user input. You will always have to do this if you are going to type in input from the keyboard. You can name it whatever you want to, but I like to name mine input equals new scanner. And yes, I see the red lines. We're going to fix those in just a second. So you need to wait until you think you've finished the statement to see if you have red lines. Now, we do have a red line here because scanner lives in a library that needs to be imported. So you see right now, I don't have any libraries. The easiest way to get it in here is hover over the red line, and I just need to click import scanner. And now you see this line has been added in. Much easier to do that than to try to type it in and possibly have the syntax incorrect. All right, so now that we've done that, I need to get my input. So I'm following my pseudocode. That means I need to store values into these 2 variables, which means I first need to prompt the user. So system.out.print. I'm not going to use print line because I just want to be able to type the response on the same line as the prompt. So enter minimum temp. Now I need to receive the value. I want to store a value into min temp, and we are going to use parsing because this is just the most fail-safe way to do it, right? Input.next line. Make sure and be mindful of all the things that are capitalized, the things that are not capitalized. This is capital double but notice my data type is lowercase double. And there is a capital L in here. And so this is how I'm going to know what I need to type in, and this is going to receive the value and store it into this variable. I need to do the exact same thing for max temperature. So I'm actually going to just copy and edit. So it's going to be my maximum temperature, and this is going to be max temp, is this, right? Now that we have our input, I need to add the numbers together. So total equals min temp plus max temp. Now I can calculate the average. And again, I'm just going through using my plan over here and coding from that plan. So calculating my average is now average temperature is equal to total divided by 2. Now let's display the output. This is where you will follow whatever I give you as sample output, but let's say we just want to say the average temperature is and whatever the answer is. So we will have an output statement, system.out.println the average temp is, and then use concatenation, remember my glue, and I want to print out the value that is in this variable, right? And so that should be the end of my program. I don't see any red lines. Again, this yellow warning here is because I didn't close the scanner. If you really want that to go away, you will do input.close, but it's not a critical thing if you forget it, if you don't do that, all right? So let's run. I'm just going to click the green arrow button here to run this program, and it's going to make sure there's no errors. Here in the window, it asks me to type in values, so let's use our data from our desk check here. So we've got 80 and 40, so minimum is 40, maximum is 80, average temperature is 60. That's what we came up with as an answer, so that's good. You're going to copy this output, come back here at the very end of your program. You are going to create this section for your runtime output, right? So here is one test case. Let's run it again with a second test case. So this test case is 90 and 35. Minimum temperature is 35, maximum is 90, and we get that as the average. Copy this, put it in here, and now we have the complete program and you have your output, right? So that is showing you how to take the plan, once we already are clear about what we need to do, and write the code directly from that.